What's up guys, Chris here, back finally with some 4 Nights of the Apocalypse manga chapter reviews. I'm sorry I've been gone. I was on vacation for last month and I was unable to upload too many videos, if any, while I was away. So now we're finally coming back and I am going to start grinding with the reviews as I've been doing, and maybe some extra discussion videos from here or there for 4 Nights, and maybe even some other series that I am covering. Now, I know the last couple of chapters of 4 Nights of the Apocalypse since my last review have been kind of, well, crazy and also kind of, to put it lightly, a little divisive with some of the more recent ones. And I will do a video on the specific character of Jericho and her big reveal from the last few chapters in an entirely different video and my thoughts on it, so I'm not going to put that in here. But you're not here for that. Let's hit that intro and get started with the review. Chapter 74 of the 4 Nights of the Apocalypse, A Desperate Resistance, starts with the aftermath of last chapter where Donnie managed to get Melegaland off balance and allow for Gawain to land a very strong hit, but she ran out of power and kind of passed out and is now asleep. Percival and Tristan try to go and check on Donnie and Gawain, but Tristan brings Percival out of the way to avoid another big attack from Melegaland. As well, they continue to just say the same thing over and over again. 4 nights, we are going to make you breathe your last breath, prepare yourselves, blah blah blah. Which, kind of generic villain talk and stuff like that. But they're kind of under, brainwashing, so it kind of makes sense why this is just the same line over and over, same type of message, all in all. But yeah, Melegaland is getting back up. Ani and Nazienz head towards Donnie and Gawain. As well, they're kind of, lecturing Donnie on being very reckless. But, he wanted to do it, so he did what he had to do. An looks kind of surprised of what's going on with a kid here, and Donnie's like, wait, what happened to Gawain? As we see that Gawain actually shrunk. So, it appears, unlike Escanor, where his power was derived from the sun during the hours, as well, the day was definitely past noon, going towards the end. It turns out Gawain needs to keep her magical power to a certain level, and when she runs out, she shrinks back to her, I presume, regular size. And while everyone was speculating on Gawain more or less having a night form, it seems her size basically gets determined by her magical power, so she shrunk back down, seemingly, as she is dreaming of having a feast full of nothing but pudding. It's kind of hilarious because she is a literal glutton, which is kind of a nice little character trait. But I like how An is trying to cover her up, but then Donnie's like, hold on! And then he stares at Gawain in a very creepy way as An just clobbers him as she should. I constantly feel like Nakaba misses doing the whole Meliodas pervy gag, and now he basically more or less does situational comedy with Percival, who's kind of inept to all this, has no idea what's going on with that type of stuff, or relies on Donnie to be the pervert, quote-unquote pervert of the group, which, yeah, I kind of see that gonna happen through the series, but it's done very sparingly, so I'll forgive it. It kind of takes away 3 panels of a chapter. Felt kind of unnecessary comedy, right, for me, but I did get a chuckle the first time I read it, so I'm not going to fault anyone, but either way, it was kind of an unnecessary moment. But anyway, An tells the group to get out of the way so that Percival and Tristan can actually fight with everything they have. Percival is wondering about his friends, but Tristan says don't worry, they're going to be fine, and he actually found a way that they could win thanks to what Donnie was going for. Melegaland seems to have taken a lot of damage from Gawain's attack, so now, with that opening and Melegaland kind of trying to get up, Tristan and Percival get down to the ground and lunge forward towards Melegaland. As it seems like they're heading straight towards this creature, the next page comes and they somehow bump right into each other, falling down to the ground, confused of what's going on. And the peanut gallery of miscellaneous knights say, wait, they were side by side jumping forward. How the hell did they crash into each other face first? As the Nazienz and some of the knights are heading towards Tristan and Percival, all of a sudden, Nazianz notices something. Percival's on the ground, and as he's running, he notices that he's not making any progress. He can't reach Percival, as if Percival is just going farther and farther away from him, or he's just stuck in place. As he then hears on the yelling and screaming off screen, as it seems like she's going, in a panel, she's upside down in the sky, or is falling. And Donnie's like, hold on, knock it off. I'm not even going straight, as he's carrying Gawain away from the battle. And we get a panel of Melegaland with something leaking out of him. And Nazian states, could this be Melegaland's magic power? As he then trips and is caught by Hendrickson, who introduces himself and says that he is just the town doctor. Nazian asks how Hendrickson is fine, and Hendrickson's like, it's just what I thought. No one realizes this. They've been afflicted with something. A slow-acting, potent neurotoxin that gradually derails the, I can't pronounce things, centrifugal semicircular canals, and greatly reduces not just one's sense of direction, but also their accuracy and ability to evade. Which explains why nobody's attacks are managing to hit Melegaland, and why everyone's kind of going crazy or, hallucinating and stuff like that. Hendrickson is basically saying that the monster is definitely the source, and it wouldn't have arrived here if he hadn't noticed just by sheer chance with the birds that were in his study. So he takes a cloth and covers Nazian's mouth, as well as everyone else's, to see if he could see what's going on. They need to get everybody vaccinated now, which Hendrickson's going to need some time because he needs to create an antidote. But Nazian says, don't worry, once I know a poison, there's no problem. As Nazian uses his mixed venom, this poison, and produces a medicinal mist across the entire battlefield, curing everybody of their affliction. So their sense of direction and everything and balance is back to normal. So I feel like with Hendrickson, but basically praising and wanting to figure out what's going on, how Nazian's powers work, this is definitely a dynamic that I would love to see, because I feel like Nazianz can learn a lot about medicine from Hendrickson, and Hendrickson can learn a lot and get a lot of help from Nazianz. So this is like some endgame like student-teacher thing, because I feel like this is something that needs to be done, because they both like medicine, they're both smart. This is something that needed to happen. But anyway, as their conversation is cut short, Melegaland is on their way to basically chop them in two. Hendrickson tries to get in the way to block the attack and protect Nazianz, as On far away tries to tell Nazianz to run. But then a beam hits Melegaland, knocking it back a little bit, with the move being Pierce, as off screen, damn, I'm the one who retired long ago, come on. As he tells Hendrickson to give him a week's worth of compress for his lower back, as Dreyfus makes his appearance. I like how in this, Dreyfus, a former Holy Knight captain, just shows up and hits Melegaland, but it doesn't even leave a scratch. So that's kind of hilarious. And I like how we know that Dreyfus is now a swordsmanship instructor for the new Holy Knights, which is a nice piece of information, and it's something from the previous series that has mentioned that in terms of swordsman skills, Dreyfus is more or less second to none to most knights. So it makes a lot of sense. But anyway, Melegaland gets ready for another attack and uses another barrage of Pierce spread shots to hit Melegaland, and states that, yeah, a week's worth of compress ain't gonna be enough for this, which he should be in his late 50s, if not early 60s by this point, so, yeah, it makes sense why his lower back should be like this. Anyway, Hendrickson says he's gonna back him up, but then someone runs past Hendrickson saying, Mr. Hendy, please help with Lord Tristan's recovery. As during this whole assault on Melegaland, this person manages to run past and use the beams for cover, manages to land a few hits on Melegaland, but gets knocked down to the ground, saying that that attack wouldn't work, as where they hit has some little sparks to it, and then detonates Time Bomb. But it wasn't really much hiding with this appearance from this chapter. I'm just kind of been glossing over it. But this character says that they won't let anyone touch her beloved Tristan. From the Tristan platoon, Isolde has arrived. So now Isolde's actually going to get some redemption for what happened with her in the last few chapters, because not much happened with Isolde aside from getting hit on by Gawain and the misunderstanding with Team Percival. So I look forward to seeing her in action right now. And now the rest of the Holy Knights start to get up and are ready to protect the Knights of Prophecy. And I like how Donnie's like, hey man, you hearing this? And Nazian says that these are the voices of the people who need you, while Percival is knocked out. Draven says, should I try tightening the old rotor a little more? And well, and Hendrickson's just saying, we're counting on you, Mr. Swordsmanship Instructor. As the final page is Isolde and Dreyfus, as well as all the other Holy Knights, charging at Meligaland, as Meligaland is charging up in just frustration over, from what I can tell, just not a little bit of like fear, I think, or just sheer on frustration of the situation. As the chapter ends, with the next chapter being called Royal Holy Knights versus Meligaland. Now, what do I have to say about this chapter as a whole? I enjoyed it. I like that we got the reveal of Gawain's nighttime form, or essentially her base form with her magic power run out, her shrunken state, which was a nice detail because we would need to see this eventually. This also shows that Gawain is going to be out of the fight, at least for a little bit. And Tristan and Percival kind of knocked each other out somehow, just by bumping into each other, which they're both going full force, so it makes sense that if they hit each other face first, they knock each other out. It's funny, but I like that Dreyfus comes in to save the day, and Hendrickson comes in and tells Nazians what's going on, so Nazians can just dispel the poison in this very chapter. And Isolde coming in to land a few blows and help in the fight against Meligaland is well appreciated. But I do think this arc is kind of dragging a little bit with the battle against Meligaland. I like that we got fusion and stuff like that, but I feel like it's dragging out. I like that Nakaba is trying to like show that the Holy Knights can kind of defend themselves for Leonis and how strong they are, especially with some of the other characters giving them moments to shine, like Donnie and Naziens, as well as now Dreyfus and Hendrickson's probably going to join in the fight as well at some point after healing Tristan and everything. But we still need to see Meliodas show up, because while he's blocking the way to Bartra, I do feel like he's going to have to come onto the battlefield and do something. Because remember, Arthur is still coming and is going to try and do something with the Four Knights. So the Four Knights are basically going to be exhausted. Gawain is out and stuff like that. Lancelot hasn't used much of his strength like at all, so he's probably on his way. I literally feel like this fight's going to end when Lancelot shows up. So him, Tristan, and Percival can do some kind of team attack to take down Meligaland or something. Maybe Gawain will recover some of her strength and use another big attack so they can team up, is what I'm thinking. But yeah, this arc does need to end. It is dragging a little bit. I feel like they should have ended it with the Jericho reveal and defeating Gallant and Melascula, and then having Arthur show up to be fended off by Meliodas for a little bit, and then just do like a little like truce and be like, I wasn't here to fight you, Meliodas, so I'm just going to go back home. Something like that, to show Arthur's strength and everything that's going on. Yeah, I give this another 5 to 6 chapters at least. This might end at chapter 80, if I'm being completely honest, so we're probably going to get the fight ending within the next 2-3 chapters. Arthur showing up, and then Arthur leaving with the arc officially ending, and the Four Knights officially being deemed the Four Knights of the Apocalypse and stuff like that, and given titles. But that's my thoughts and opinions on this chapter. I did enjoy it, but it's not my favorite chapter. This arc has been dragging a little bit in certain aspects of it, but I feel like since it's all action-packed, if it does get animated, it will be relatively quickly in the anime, if the anime is done well. But either way, I'm excited to see what's going to happen next, because we still have Arthur to look forward to, Lancelot showing up on the scene, and Meliodas is going to have to do something. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this week's chapter of Four Knights of the Apocalypse? Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. It really does help, and I do read every comment, and I try and talk and respond to everyone, so I will do my best to respond to everything. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. It really does help. I'm hoping to reach 3,000 subscribers soon. We're less than 400 away from 3,000 subscribers, and my goal is to get to 5K by the end of the year, which I do see this happening, as this channel is growing a lot faster than I initially anticipated, and I just love that you guys are enjoying this Four Knights videos and all the other content that I am making. And if you want to support the channel a bit more directly and even request certain videos, don't forget to check me out on Patreon and on Ko-Fi to help the channel more directly and help me bring out more videos and help make these videos just as well made, if not better, for the future. Now, with all that said and done, I appreciate your time. Hope you enjoyed the video, and hope you all have an awesome day.